Hey, it's Biddy Penny, and I'm here with a Some More Fun card haul. So I've never ordered from this company before. I've never even heard of this company until I watched a video recently of some Halloween stamp sets that they had, and I was like, wow, those are unusual, very unique. I'm gonna go check those out. And I had never heard of this company, and yeah, I got pulled in. And so I ended up buying none of the Halloween stamps and all of these instead. I'm showing you here, there was one that's like horoscopes, and I liked it because you get all the signs, the astrological signs for each month in one stamp set. This is a great stamp set that I'm going to get use out of. I'm sure of it. And this one, I've been wanting this. It's been in my head for so long. And when I saw this, it was over. At that point, there was no turning back. I had to have it. And then they had like this set, which I thought could pass for graffiti. And I've been wanting graffiti stamps for so long. I appreciate that this is not going to appeal to everyone. I understand that. But this speaks to me. And so it's something I've always wanted, and I finally have a little bit in my stash. So I also feel like these are going to be fantastic for masculine cards, and I'm just so excited. So I am just going to go ahead here and create a really quick slimline card. And then I'm also going to create some random acts of kindness cards, because I think with everything that's going on, now's the time to make some r.a.k cards. Don't you guys agree? So with my slimline card here, I am just using that train to stamp across the slimline card. It was kind of just the first thing that popped in my mind when I held it in my hands. I thought, well, slimline cards, this is perfect. So I'm now, like, I literally just opened the box, pulled these out to do a haul, and was like, yeah, no, I have to use these right away. So there's not a lot of like preliminary thinking here or anything. These cards aren't really far outside of the box or anything, but they're still very fun. So I stamped that down. I did my quick clouds, which you've seen me do a number of times at this point, which is where I just lightly dust the cardstock in random places and kind of create my sky. And then I decided to bring in some gray for the gravel area underneath the train. Now it has a track that you can stamp across, so you could totally have put a track down at the bottom. I just didn't want to do that. Again, I just wanted to play with these immediately and didn't have any real solid plans. So I am going to go ahead and bring in some of the other stamp sets to do the graffiti on my train. I think this set is going to get a lot of use from me. I could just see having these in my stash for masculine cards. I really think it would be fun to figure out different like messages and ways to put graffiti on the train. Here I'm going to bring in my embossing powders, and I decided on red, gold, and green. Classic combination. And I'm just simply embossing these different sentiments on there. I'm doing one color at a time, but I'm not even melting it in between. I am just going to do a little move on to the next color. I'm showing you here, I'm actually leaving a little bit of that embossing powder that we consider stray embossing, because to me it looks like the overspray of spray paint. So for me, in this particular card, that aesthetic actually worked to the aesthetic, in my opinion. So I am just now going to do the red, and I decided that both of the elements on that train car would be red. And that's like pretty much it. I think those filled the train cars out nicely. And I'm just kind of grabbing whatever's close to me to get a little more detail into that particular sentiment. So some cool things just off the bat about this company while I do this standard card making, in my opinion. Evidently, I don't know if they still do, but I was reading the packaging and that you could rent stamp sets from them. How awesome is that? Like, because how many times have you bought a stamp set and used it once or twice, right? Like, I think that's a really cool concept. I don't know if they still do it or not, but I love the concept. So they had some of these stamp sets you may have seen in my haul. A couple of them looked like they had been used before. Well, they had. You can buy used stamp sets or brand new sets from them. I'm sure it's based on inventory. But like I buy D-Stash from other sellers all the time on Etsy and Instagram. And so I have no problem at all buying a used stamp set. And they're like $4.99. I mean, amazing. So definitely go check out this company if you haven't before, because I think all of those things are very cool. Okay, moving on. This is my little bucket of small cards. I can't even think of what size these are off the top of my head right now, but essentially they are, I will put it, I promise, in the description below so that you'll have a real idea, but they're basically the size of the card you would get in a floral bouquet. And I really like making these. I think they're so much fun. One of the projects that I've made with members of our church before is making random acts of kindness cards. And, we would churn out like 200 of them, and then everybody could split them up and hand them out as they wanted. And these are like the perfect size. You can get 4 cards for every sheet of paper. So they go a long way. And if you're ever looking to do a project like that, another good thing to use are blank index cards. Just a hot tip. You can get, 50, 100 of those really inexpensively, already cut for you. Stamp them out and leave them at the grocery store. I was actually at the post office the other day mailing off packages from my Etsy shop, and someone had painted stones with little sweet messages and left them there. And I was like, yes, we need to do more of this. Like with the pandemic and an election and all this stuff, it's time to love everyone, right? Like we need to spread more love. So I'm going to be handing out more random acts of kindness cards. I encourage you to do that. Give them to people, leave them in places so people can find them. It's a really sweet thing to do. I found one time in the spice aisle of our Sprouts store where you like buy bulk spices and bag them up yourself. There was a card there one time, and it was just the sweetest thing, So for this one, I'm using a very simple masking I just punched out a piece of paper, and I left some of this in so you can just see how quickly something like this goes. I mean, you could sit down in the evening and make up 20 of these in no time at all. It would be so easy. And then you could potentially impact, the lives of 20 other people directly and indirectly. We never even consider how that indirectly impacts countless people, right? When you touch the lives of 20 people and brighten their day, then you brighten everyone that they come in contact with potentially. So that's what these are for. This had a fantastic sentiment in it. Peace begins with a smile, Mother Teresa. So I loved that. I put that on there. And on the inside, I'm just going to write something like, you are loved, have an awesome day. And that's it. So easy. I really encourage you guys to do that. I just think we need more of that right now. Like, not in the future. We need it now in this world. So I hope you like these projects. I'm showing you here kind of where you could cut your paper. So on the 8.5-inch side, you cut it at 7, and then you cut it at 2.5. Fold those, and you'll have your little cards. And I just love them. I love making these. I think they're so much fun. So thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have a really blessed day.